of the Flower Moon is a historical crime drama written and directed by the great Martin Scorsese, known for movies like Goodfellas, The Departed, and The Wolf of Wall Street, which I recently saw in theaters for the first time. It has nothing to do with the movie review, but it was cool seeing that in theaters. When oil is discovered in 1920s Oklahoma under Osage Nation land, the Osage people are murdered one by one until the FBI steps in to unravel the mystery. Film's runtime is 206 minutes. Film's rating is R in color. And, of course, the book by David Grant. So, The Killers of the Flower of the Moon was a film that I was very much looking forward to. It's a film that, in a way, everything was leading up to Killers of the Flower of the Moon. I got to see pretty much every single Scorsese movie except for the one movie, Boxcar Bertha, because why would I put myself through that? Why would I do that to myself? But I've pretty much seen all the ones that are important and pretty much all his films. And man, it was a pleasure going to see this movie in theaters. Because one, this film is a lengthy film. 3.5 hours is what you would probably consider pretty lengthy for a movie. It's not action, it's just pure drama. And it was a first for me. This was definitely the longest film I've ever seen in theaters. So that's, I guess, a plus for me. I've never seen a movie that long in theaters. But, man, this film was masterful. Killers of the Flower Moon is probably Scorsese's masterpiece. It is genuinely a perfect film, down to just the making of it, the direction, the story, for it being as long as it is to be, I guess. It went by super fast for me. It went by maybe an hour and a half. Like, it was super quick, this film. I was very much surprised by how they did this film's pacing and it being so just... When it's slow, it works because it matters. But it takes its time. Everything is perfected. And man, Scorsese just did a masterful job with this. The performances, too, are probably some of the best of all these actors. Specifically, Mr. Leonardo DiCaprio, one of my favorites, playing Mr. Ernest Burkhart. And DiCaprio is amazing in this film. He plays this very, not a likable man, definitely a very conflicted human being, and not a good person by all standards. And you're watching this guy, and you're very much like, okay, I'm not liking this guy, but he has an interesting aura to him. And I think DiCaprio, probably his best performance of his career. I think DiCaprio did just another just masterclass of acting in this. DiCaprio, good job. This is Oscar win, I think, or a nomination at least, because he was just fantastic in this film. You also got supporting cast. You got Mr. Robert De Niro, Bobby himself, playing William Hill. And Robert De Niro's amazing in this movie as well. Robert plays this guy who everybody likes him. The whole Osage tribe pretty much like him. But he's, of course, in the inside, he's a devil. He's evil, has evil plans for the Osage. And Robert De Niro is amazing as ever. Like, if Robert De Niro did a Scorsese movie every year, it'd be perfect for him, because, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of his grandpa movies, but I do enjoy him in when it comes to real good acting, and I think De Niro was just fantastic in this film. The heart of the movie is, of course, Lily Gladstone playing Molly Burkhart, and man, Lily, this is definitely either a nom or a win, I think, for her, because it's like this woman, I mean, her portrayal is tragic, of this woman her whole family's pretty much being extinguished, and her dealing with that, and in a way feeling the same thing that they felt. Lily Gladstone deserves every recognition that she's getting for this role. She is amazing in this movie. I do believe she really was the heart for this film, because there's a lot going on in this movie. A lot of deaths, a lot of murder. And Lily Gladstone was the heart, I guess, in the chaos. And it is a tragic character by all standards. You also got the supporting. Jesse Plemons playing Tom White. He's good. I always enjoy Jesse Plemons in movies. And he's good in the movie. He plays this pre-FBI agent, and he's great. He's great in the film. You also got like John Lithgow playing the prosecutor. It's cool seeing him. And Brendan Fraser as the character W.S. Hamilton. Yeah, it's cool. I love Brendan. Seeing Brendan Fraser in anything makes me happy. And it's cool seeing him in a Scorsese movie, so that was cool. And you also got, I brought this guy up, Louis Cancelmi, playing Kelsey Morrison, the guy who actually played, what's his name? Freaking Sally Bugs. I just recognize him in the movie. And yeah, he's good in the movie. He's pretty good. And all the performances are just amazing. But even the little characters had things to do, and they were great. And the tribe and the Indians just did a fantastic job. And of course, the film's written by Eric Roth, known for films like Forrest Gump, The Curious Case of Benjamin Button, and Dune. And this is a neat written film. I mean, it tells a story that had to be told, pretty much. It's a story that I'm surprised has not been told, even though this is a story that's been around for a century. And it's kind of like, wow, it's crazy that this movie just, now they tell this story. And it's a story that had to be told, pretty much, because it is a dark time for us as a country. And man, I think the film was written beautifully. Chemistry, everybody did a great job. I mean, the chemistry between DiCaprio and Lily, I mean, they have that chemistry where you can see, like, yeah, they love each other, but there's things that are happening, and, you know, DiCaprio's put in a position where he's like, you gotta do some shit that's pretty fucked up. And I like their chemistry. They are really good together. And DiCaprio and De Niro, it's cool seeing them in a movie together. And the music by, sadly, the late, great Robbie Robertson, known for films like The King of Comedy, The Color of Money, and The Irishman. Sadly, he passed away before he got to see the movie, but his score is amazing. This is his best, I think. It's a shame and it's sad that this is his last score, but man, this is beautifully composed. The Indian tribe musical, and just the groove for the film is really good too. The soundtrack and the score, a little funky, and which is something I didn't expect. But the score is just amazing for this movie. DP by Rodrigo Prieto, known for the cinematographer for movies like Amores Perros, The Wolf of Wall Street, and The Irishman. This is a beautiful, just shot movie. This is just beautiful to look at. This is visually stunning even to see, and the movie is just so well shot, and the cinematographer just did a marvelous job like usual. And the editing by, of course, Mr. Scorsese's partners in crime, the partner that's been with him for almost just all his career. Edited by Thelma Schoonmaker. Thelma Schoonmaker, I don't know what she does. I don't know how she does it, but she makes movies that are so long, like 3 hours or whatever length, go by this fast, like in an instant. Like to a point where I'm just watching this movie. This woman just edits the movies perfectly, because this is a long movie, and it is very much slow and when it needs to be, but not to a point where it's like slow and boring. Like it is so engaging in moments where it could be slow, and it's perfect. And I don't know, man, Thelma Schoonmaker is the GOAT of editing. I think she's up there. She's one of the greats. She legitimately makes movies go by in an instant. She made The Wolf of Wall Street and Goodfellas, and The Departed, movies that are just like 2.5 hours go by in an instant, like nothing. Like time just went by and you didn't even notice. And Thelma Schoonmaker is one of the best, and this is another editing class of just how to edit movies. And yeah, Killers of the Flower Moon is a 5 out of 5 stars. I think that's not much of a shock in my opinion. This movie's amazing. It is a masterclass in filmmaking, and it's up there as one of the best films of the year. It's just, I need to see it again, I think, because there's one movie that I think will be my number one, because it's the one I've seen the most. But I gotta rewatch some movies to truly be like, all right, where does this rank? Because we're almost at the end of the year, and I think it's time to rewatch some of these movies and really be like, all right, are they high in my rankings? But man, this is up there. I think it's top 5, top 3 maybe. I could definitely see it. This is a masterclass, and Scorsese, for his age, to still make movies like this and them still being just amazing, just shows how good of a filmmaker he is. And I'm glad I got to be alive to see a Scorsese movie in theaters for the first time. And yeah, it was a ride, because I legitimately saw his movies, and just seeing every film that he's done and really experiencing this man's work throughout the years is truly special. I think you guys should do it. I think people should really just sit down and watch all Scorsese movies. However long it will take, maybe a week or 2, we'll get it done, because I feel like it's worth it. Scorsese is a master. He at his age still making movies like this is nothing but spectacular. And Killers of the Flower Moon is just another film in Scorsese's masterclass.